Jackson Radio Show.
So is universal basic income a sensible safety net or an economic disaster in the making? Now, perhaps surprisingly, Charles Murray, a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute, is an advocate. And I spoke to him about it recently. Have a look. Charles, thank you so much for talking to us about this. I was very excited when I heard that we could have this conversation because for most people, this idea of a universal basic income is something that's associated with the left. More recently, we've had the liberal elite in Silicon Valley pushing the idea, but generally it's something that's seen as an idea that comes from the left. But you're obviously not from the left, far from it.
No.
Just make the case for this from the conservative point of view.
Well, the simplest case from the conservative point of view is that the current system is awful, and replacing it all just by giving people money is better. That was Milton Friedman's argument. He made this case a long time ago. That's part of my reason. But the main reason is, well, I got a couple. One is I think we're going to see a revolution in the job market over the next 20 or 30 years that are going to require us to redefine what the meaning of a job is. I'm in a minority on that. I have a lot of economist friends who say this time is not different and so forth, but I believe that. The second thing is that we've got to revive American civil society. And by civil society, I mean communities solving their own problems, dealing with each other, all the things that made America a very special place.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That was a gentleman from the American Enterprise Institute talking about a concept called universal basic income. And he's obviously proposing $10,000 minimum per year per person. I don't know if it's like man, woman, and child. Can you imagine? I just want to stop you for 1 second. Can you imagine a 13-year-old girl saying, I could get $10,000 for myself and I can get $10,000 for my baby? So she's at 20 grand with her kid and thinks she's making money. Can you imagine? There's a woman right now that's on welfare. She's getting, they said this woman's worth, she's 6 figures. She's got like 10 kids. Seems like a lot till you got to feed them and take care of them and get them stuff. But if you don't want to get them stuff, if you just want to have kids, then congratulations, you have succeeded. You are doing quite well for yourself. I find this amazing. This is where we are with this. Wow. Zuckerberg said, following a trip to Alaska, that's when it hit him that giving people subsistence. He supported what Alaska calls the Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend, which pulls money from the state's revenue, oil revenue, and returns it to the residents at the end of the year. And in 2016, that dividend was $1,022 per eligible resident. Now, what is an eligible resident? Probably somebody who worked. I don't know how they did it. I'd have to look it up. But I would presume it's somebody that worked, that was productive in society. And oh, by the way, this isn't a revolutionary idea. Giving taxpayers their money back, and Zuckerberg thinks he's come up with something new. Let me tell you something. I'd be happy to give my $10,000 back, but I would have earned it. What Zuckerberg is saying is whether you work or you don't work, you should have it. Now, the guy from AECI says, the American Enterprise Institute says, well, look, if you happen to lose your job, you have that $10,000. Okay, so you have your $800 a month. Do you still get unemployment? Is that what he's saying? Again, if you want to tell me the government should be giving us back our money, I'll gladly take it. But I won't take it under the guise that the government is giving me money. The government is returning money to me that I've spent. Let me tell you something. I have left in the treasury of this government well over $100,000 in my lifetime. And I did it because I said to myself, you're a good citizen, Kev. I filed my taxes late and they'd owe me, $5,200 one year, $3,700 the next year. I wouldn't even get it. And then it would expire because you only have 3 years to file. I'd have 4 years it would expire and I'd collect for 3 years. This happened recently. I had 3 or 4 tax years that expired. It was at least $35,000. The reason I did it at the time was I didn't need the money. I was like, you know what? They can have it. And then I needed the money. And I would have loved to have petitioned the government to say, what do you mean you can get money that I owe you for as long as you need, but if I don't collect mine within X number of years, you get to keep it? What kind of system is that? That system stinks because I needed the money. Anyway, Zucker, I'm reading this article. He used his experience at Facebook to explain how economics of human condition can change for the better if people are given a basic income to live off, such as the permanent fund dividend in Alaska. They're getting $1,022, Zuckerberg. How's that going to do it? That's a rebate to everything. The government is saying, look, we made a bunch of money. You need it back. It isn't our money. We're not a profit center. Here's your money back. Now go put it back to work, Alaska. Zuckerberg's getting it twisted. Now, look, I know there are places overseas, I'll say not Finland, can't think of the country, but they have a universal basic income. Good for them. Tell me you want to live there. Tell me a leftist, pick that country. Zimbabwe, we've got a universal basic income. Go live there. See if that's going to help. Let me tell you something. If you told me, Kevin, I'm going to give you $10,000 to live on, in the event that you get unemployed, you get $10,000. Man, let me tell you, I'd look at you like you're crazy. What, is that supposed to entice me? That's a bunch of money or something? That's ridiculous. Now, if you tell me it's extra money we're giving back because you've overpaid your taxes, then fine. And if you even wanted to prorate it and say, look, if you make $500,000 a year, you don't need your 10 grand back. But if you're working and you've paid taxes and you've been a productive member of society, and they said to me, we'll give you up to $10,000 back because the government has been crazy. It's been ridiculous. We've been spending money like drunken sailors. And we have paid off our debts, and we don't want to run money in the, a surplus, which we shouldn't because government is not in that business. Then give me our money back. But the government is in no position to do this. By the way, Zuckerberg wants to do it. The guy who owns Salesforce.com, all these Silicon Valley guys are talking about doing, let's give the money back, man. Give people basic income. It's like the $15 an hour minimum wage, the $31,000 a year job flipping burgers. How long is that going to last? So they're the ones saying, let's give the money back. Zuckerberg, a gazillion billionaire, right? This guy is worth billions. One of the rich, I think he is the richest guy in the world. I know he's one of them. Bezos, the Salesforce.com guys. These are all guys worth billions of dollars. Do they practice what they preach? Give your money to your employees. I have a friend who sold his company for $150 million. Made money. Everybody kept their jobs. People were feasting, got their bonuses, etc. Then my friend took 50 million of those dollars and he gave them to the employees. People don't do that. Now that's putting your money where your mouth is. So Zuckerberg says, seeing how Alaska put the dividend in place reminded me of a lesson I learned early at Facebook. Organizations think profoundly differently when they're profitable than when they're in debt. When you're losing money, your mentality is largely about survival. But when you're profitable, you're confident about your future and you look for opportunities to invest and grow further. Alaska's economy has historically created this winning mentality, which has led to the basic income. That may be a lesson for the rest of the country. You are exactly right, Zuckerberg. Positive thinking yields positive results. So why is it your ilk is always making black folks, for example, feel negative? Why is it you're always making women feel less than what they are? You don't make enough money, young lady. There's a war on women. Why are you telling Latinos they're hated when they come over here? We embrace them when they come legally. When they don't, we want Americans to have jobs. Why is it that you're beating up on the legal immigrants and giving a pass to the other ones? I mean, I could go on. These people are idiots, folks, and they think because they get a lot of money, they're smart. A lesson for the rest of the world. He goes to one place and suddenly there's a lesson. Now here's what's ironic. Joe Biden disagrees with him. He came out against the universal basic idea. He says our children and grandchildren deserve the promise we've had, the skills to get ahead, the chance to earn a paycheck, and a steady job that rewards hard work. See, what Zuckerberg doesn't want you to know is that feeling you get of accomplishment when you do a job, and particularly when you do it well, when you learn more. I can put it into terms of my little boy in his baseball game. The other day they played a game. They've been beating everybody. They lost their first game, but they're beating everybody. But they took him out at catcher because they're trying these kids in other positions. And I have never, watch a lot of baseball with him. Without him behind the plate, it's a different ball game. This kid is a maniac behind the plate. They put other kids back there. They don't get it, but he gets it. And you can see the joy when he goes, boy, I'm glad coach put me behind the plate because we almost lost that game. That's the feeling you want kids to experience. Now, that other kid, I'm glad that he got a chance to try and he'll be good at something, but he's not as good at that. And maybe that'll give him incentive. How about that, Zuckerberg?
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.